So yesterday we have discussed about the introduction of Tableau and what is SQL, what is the Tableau architecture and all. And we have also discussed why do we use Tableau instead of other tools, and how does Tableau works in mission critical platforms, and what are the different types of products. So we have discussed about all these things in the yesterday's session, and today we are going to continue with some more concepts, and there are some fundamental concepts that are available. So not only related to Tableau, in an overall data related fundamental rules that are there. So I'm going to share those topics today. And after this session, we are going to start the second session. Okay, so now let's talk about in-memory BI tool. So Tableau has a feature called in-memory concept. So this is nothing but Tableau works on basis of RAM. So whenever we connect to any data, so we are going to connect with so whenever we connect to any data, let's say I'm connecting to some 10,000 records of data, whether it can be coming from Excel or it can be coming from Oracle or SQL or any database. What Tableau does is it will compress the data. It will compress the data and it will attach the data to the RAM. So the data will be stored in RAM. And as and when you see, let's say I'm going to connect to Sample Superstore. So this is the welcome page that you see whenever you open Tableau desktop in your PC. So these are some of the sample data that is provided by Tableau to practice. So it can be visible to your left side. So if you want to connect to any Excel files or any data file that you want to connect to, these are the files that you can connect to. And if you want to connect to databases, so click on more, or you can select Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL. So like that you can connect. So for now, we are going to connect to these saved data sources. So these are the three different data sources which are provided by Tableau. So I'm just clicking on this sample superstore. So this sample superstore has 10,000 records in it. Okay, so what Tableau basically does is, so this particular data is getting stored in RAM. So that data is getting stored in RAM. So that is the reason. So whenever you drag anything to the field, so let's say customer name I'm dragging. So in seconds, I can see that data is coming into the chart, into the visualization. There are 800 customers. So it is finding out. So if you go here, so these customer names are getting repeated. So when I drag only the customer name, I can able to see the distinct customers. So even if it is repeating 100 times, it will show me one name for each person. So that kind of distinct can be done automatically when you drag any field into the rows or column shelf. So that is happening only because of this in-memory concept. So whenever you drag something, whenever you are doing some calculations, it is happening in seconds. So it is happening just because of this in-memory concept. So as it is storing the data in RAM, so it is very fast. So the speed of Tableau will be depending on your RAM size. So you need to have a minimum of 8 GB RAM so that it will be faster. So that's about in-memory concept. So, and we have few calculations like on the fly. So there is also one more concept called on the fly calculations. So I'm going to show you how to do on the fly calculations. So I'm just going to show one simple data. So let me just take this data into an Excel so that it will help you understand what data looks like. So just click on this download button. So I'll just save this as session batch 4 sample data. So I'm just saving this as a sample data. So I'm going to show you in Excel file. So this is the same data that I'm connecting to in Tableau. So now I want to find out sales value divided by profit. So I need to create a calculation in Tableau where it does sales divided by profit. So basically what I want to do is I need to take the sum of this one, which is 23,26,534. So how am I calculating in Tableau? I'm just selecting this particular entire column. So where it is doing the sum of all the rows. So in the bottom right, you can see the sum of sales, which is 23,26,534. So this is my sales value. And if we click on this profit, so each and every row has a profit value. And what is the sum of that particular profit? You can see 2,92,296. 2,92,296. So this is my profit value. So now I'm trying to find out profit divided by sales. So I'll just use profit divided by sales. So this is my value. So now I'll just convert this into percentage. So just click on this. So this is 13%. So 13% of profit I'm getting. So in an overall profit divided by sales, if I do, I'm getting a percentage called 13%. So now let's see how we can do this in Tableau. So I just need to write a calculation. So before writing that calculation, I will just take sales. I'll double click on this. So it will come here. And I will also take profit. I'll double click on this. So go to show me and click on this tabular chart to see the values. So you can see the profit value is 2,92,297 and sales value is 23,26,534. So how this value is getting calculated? Basically, it is taking sum of all the rows. So which is 23 lakh to 26,534. So that is how you got the sales value. And the same way, it is taking the profit. And the aggregation that we are doing here is sum. So sum, it will add all the rows. So this is also a one function. So this is called as aggregation function, where it is aggregating based on the addition. So it is aggregating based on the sum of values by each row. So now I'm going to do this profit divided by sales in Tableau. So for that, I need to write a simple calculation field. So this, I'll write it as profit margin. So I'm just finding out how much is the percentage of the profit that I'm getting. So I'll just write sum of profit. So why should I write this sum as an aggregation function? So I should be able to calculating this total. So I should be doing the addition. So I should tell Tableau that you need to do addition of all these rows. So based on this sum aggregation function, I should be able to tell Tableau that you need to add all these rows. And so it's a mathematical thing that we need to do. So use this divide symbol and write sum of sales. So sum of sales to add all the rows of sales. So this is my profit margin. And now I'm able to see this 0. So let's convert this as a percentage. So earlier we were getting this as 0.13. So in Excel, we have clicked on this percentage to convert into percentage. So what it does, it is multiplying it with 100. So that's why you are able to see this percentage. So we here in Tableau also, we need to do the same way, but you need to right click on this and click on format and click on this numbers and click on percentage. So it will be converted as a percentage, and by converting it to percentage, it will multiply it with 100. Okay, so now I'm able to see the percentage, 12.56 percentage. Okay, so the topic here is we are going to discuss about on the fly calculation. So this is one simple calculation that I have done, but now I want to find out based on one particular customer. Let's say, let me take one particular row or region. I'm just filtering out. So first, just filtering out in the Excel, use Control Shift L. So you can see these buttons. Okay, now I'm just selecting central. So now the sum of sales and sum of profit will be different. So let's take sum of sales. It is 5,03,170. So this is the sales for central. So central sales is 5,03,170. And now calculate the profit. The central profit is 39,865. 39,865, which is central profit. So I need to calculate profit divided by sales. So I should be using equal to profit divided by sales. So which is giving me 0.07. I need to convert this into percentage. So just click on this percentage, which will be multiplying it with 100. So 7.9, it's rounded off to 8. So you can use these buttons to show the decimal places. Okay, so now let's do the same thing in Tableau. So for that, in Tableau, you don't need to write any calculation. So for calculating for central, I have to select the central region, and I have to find out the sum of sales, and I have to find out the profit separately. But in Tableau, it's very simple. You just need to drag that region column. You just need to drag that region column. So here you should be able to see the data. Okay, so for central, this is the sales. So which should be matching with our central sales, 5,03,170. So it is rounding off to 171. And profit is 39,865. Profit is 39,865. So when I use this region, now it is calculating for 7.92, which is exactly our number. Okay, so how Tableau is doing? By using on-the-fly calculation. So by using on-the-fly calculation, it is doing. So whenever I remove this region, so it is showing you 12.56. So the meaning is, so this value is not getting stored. So 12.56 is not getting stored. If I use region, it is not splitting the 12.56 into 4 different regions. It is again doing the bifurcation based on the sum of profit and sales. So in the back end, it is calculating for region. So here I have manually selected the region, and I have found out the sum of sales and profit separately to calculate that. But by using this functionality, by using this on-the-fly calculation, even if I put that region into consideration, so it is in the back end, it is selecting the central related sales value and profit related sales value and dividing it, and it is showing you the 7.92%. So this is called as on-the-fly calculations. So these are the some of the calculations which can be done in Tableau to do the divisions and all. So it will be based on so those numbers won't be stored. So let's say this 7.92, 13.71, this will not be stored. If I use one more column like category, so it will segregate that value. So based on that, so sum of sales and sum of profit value will change based on central and category. So this division value will also change according to the percentage. So that is about on the fly calculations and about in memory. So now let's move on to the concept called dimensions and measures. So dimensions and measures, it's not only in Tableau. If you take any reporting tool or any database. So these are the common fundamental concept that you need to know about dimensions and measures. So now let's see. So Tableau automatically identifies, if you provide the data to Tableau, so Tableau automatically identifies what is dimension and what is measure. So dimensions are those fields which are descriptive. So descriptive meaning it will be like, so in the initial example that we have seen, so I have taken an example of name and salary. So in name I have Ajay, Vijay, Raju, and in salary I have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. So, so as per dimension, it has to be descriptive. So the examples are like names, regions, locations, places. So all this will be considered as dimensions and which cannot be used for mathematical calculations. So these are called as dimensions, and even dates are considered as dimension. So if you see in these two columns, name will be considered as dimension. Why? Because it is descriptive and we cannot add two names or we cannot multiply two names. So we cannot use any mathematical operations. That is why we call name as a dimension. And now we'll discuss about measures. So in the name itself, it is mentioned as measure, which can be measurable. So anything which can be measurable is called as a measure. So which where we can use mathematical calculations. So when I say mathematical calculations, you can aggregate the data. You can do average, sum, min, max. All these functions can be used. So if you compare these two columns, you can say that this is descriptive and we cannot use any mathematical operations here. So we can say this as a dimension. And if you see salary, this is a measure. And why do we call this as a measure? So you can do, let's say this is your number of employees in your company, and what is the total amount of salary that you are providing in your company. If you want to know, you just take the sum of this, which will be 60,000. So that you can say that in your company they are paying a salary of 60,000. So that you can do some mathematical operation and you can find out by using measures. Okay, so let's see in the PPT. So dimensions are those fields which cannot be aggregated, and these are called as qualitative, and we cannot do any total or sum. So the examples are sales, region, employee, location, and date also considered as dimension. And in measures, we have, it will be like you can calculate sum, min, max, those aggregation, and you can do mathematical operations. And these are all numerical values. So this will be definitely a numerical value. So by seeing it, you can understand that it's a measure. So that is about dimension and measure. So now let me give few examples with this data. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Rakib, can you tell me, Nazrin, can you tell me whether this category is a dimension or a measure? Yeah, Nazrin. Yes. Is it a dimension or is it a measure? Yeah, perfect. So it is a dimension. Why? Because it looks descriptive and it has text in it. So it is dimension. Yeah. Srikanth, can you tell me what this postal code is? Is it a dimension or is it a measure? Postal code. Can you say why? So even if it is looking as a numerical number, it is not a measure. It is a dimension. Why? Because you cannot add. This is postal code, right? So you, let's say if you see Indian postal codes, let's say 5 lakh 8 and you have 5 lakh 21. So adding postal codes doesn't make any sense. Like it won't give any value. It won't add any value to your data. So these are the postal codes of US. So this won't add any value if you do that. So this you should use as a dimension. So anything which you can calculate or you can use mathematical operations like sales and profit. So you can do some, you can do addition, or if you want to divide with one sum of sales and profit, here you can do some of the operations. So these are called as measures. So postal code is not a measure. Yeah. So Roja, can you tell me order date, is it a dimension or a measure? Order date. This order date, is it a dimension or is it a measure? Yeah, perfect. So date in any data format, yeah, it cannot be measured. Yeah, we cannot do any mathematical operation. So it is a dimension. Vishwajit, can you tell me what are these? Is are all these are dimension or is it measures? Yeah, hello. All these columns which I have selected. Yeah. So here we can do all the calculation, mathematical calculation, and these looks like numerical. Even if some I mean values are looking like a numerical value, so it is postal code. So you can't do any mathematical calculation. So that's the reason you can't consider these as measures. So in this case, you can consider why, because you can do any mathematical calculation. You can do sum, min, max, and you can also do division and all. So these are the measures. Okay, so now let's move on to the next topic. So OLTP and OLAP. So these are also main topics. So these are the fundamental topics which any database or any reporting tool has. So OLTP, online transaction processing, and OLAP, online analytical processing. So this is the transaction happening place. So where most of the insert, edits, updates takes place. So I can give you example like, so ATM machines, e-commerce websites like Flipkart, Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato and all. So all these are, so whenever you make any order, so there will be an entry that is made and that data will be stored in a database. So that is called as an OLTP. So where that particular data is getting stored. So this data is temporary. So this, they will store the data temporarily for daily basis or weekly basis. They will remove the data and they will send it to OLAP. So OLAP maintains historical data. So for OLAP, OLTP is the source for OLAP. So whatever this daily, weekly storage is there, so that will be sent to OLAP, and here the historical information will be stored. So all the data will be available in OLAP. So the data storage is very less here. Data storage is less. Data storage is less in OLTP, and data storage is high in OLAP. And what is the source for this OLTP? So the source is the ATM machines that the transaction. So we are the users who make these transactions. So because of us, so there will be an entry that is made. So let's say from ATM machine, let's say I have withdraw 1,000 rupees. So there will be an entry that will be made. So from this account number, 1,000 rupees got debited. So that information will be stored in OLTP. So after saving it for daily or weekly, so the same information will be moved to OLTP to maintain the historical information. So it will have the latest data. Okay, so let's say 12th July. So 12th July, it has some 100 records. So when 13th July starts, so it starts with 0 records. Why? Because these 100 records will be moved to this historical. Let's say 12th July's records will be moved here, and the previous day's record also will be there. Previous records plus 12th July records will be there. And 13th July, if there are no transactions, it will be 0. And when there are transactions, so all those transactions will be stored. Let's say 20 records. So after 13th, everything will be removed from this OLTP and that will be moved to this one. So like this, OLTP will store the latest information on daily basis or weekly basis. After that week or daily, so they will remove the data and store that particular data in OLTP where it will maintain the historical information. So we are the users for OLTP who make the entries. So even if you go to any superstore, let's say you are purchasing some 10 products. Okay, so they will be entering in the computer that this person has made 10 products purchase. So that there will be an entry and that entries will be stored in OLTP. So even if you order in any Flipkart, so let's say you ordered a mobile, so there will be an entry made in Flipkart database saying this particular person had purchased a mobile from this website. So every entry will be made. And after that, let's say you have canceled that order. So what they will do is they will edit that particular order, that this particular order has been cancelled. So all those entries, edits, everything will happen in the OLTP. So once everything is freezed, that will be moved to the OLTP. So OLAP is the data that we are connecting to Tableau. So OLAP is the data that we are connecting to not only to Tableau, so any other reporting tools. So what do we do with this data? So we do analysis so that to improve the business. So let's say you want to know like how many purchases happen in this year or how many purchases are happening in the festival seasons. So you can monitor all those things by taking this data into OLAP. So this is the process. So everything will be stored in OLTP first on daily basis or weekly basis. So that data will be moved to OLAP, and by using that OLAP data only, we prepare this particular analysis. So even if you see this particular data that I'm showing, the sample superstore one, on daily basis, they have been sending data to this OLAP. So this is called as an OLAP data. So you might be getting some 100 records from one superstore. So combining all the superstores data, let's say there are some 10 branches. So they will have, each branch might have 100 records from it. So combining those 10 into 100 records, you will get 1,000 records. So like that, every day you will get millions of records. So combining all records can become millions of records. So that is how we get the data. So now let's see in the PPT. So OLTP is nothing but it is the place where frequent insert, updates, deletes takes place. So whenever we are making any purchase in Superstore or we are withdrawing money from ATM machines or when we are purchasing anything from Flipkart, so we are making an insert and updating the records. So any user can interact with OLTP. So we are the ones who are interacting with the OLTP. So if you are purchasing anything, there will be an entry. If you are canceling the order, so there will be an entry that this particular order has been cancelled. And in OLAP, so it is the place where frequently data retrieval takes place. So data retrieval takes place, meaning it is just pulling the data. So what we are doing, whatever data which is there in OLTP, it is just pulling the data from OLTP. So it is just retrieving the data from OLTP. So every frequent retrieval takes place in OLAP. And who are the users for this OLAP? So once I make this development, so I will be showing it to the business users. So business people will see this. So who is the CEO of that particular Flipkart or Amazon or uh, Zomato? So I will be showing this to the managers and CEOs and CEOs so that I'm showcasing it to them that this is performing in this way, whether there is a correction or they can take the meaningful insights from that particular data. So let me show you one example. So if I take country and I want to see the sales. So if I make a bar chart, so if you see in Canada, I have very less sales compared to United States. So when you see the population, so Canada has very less population. So that's the reason also you can say there is very less amount of sales. And I can also see the states, how the states are performing. And I'll also put country. So Tableau has the capability of uh, interactive dashboards. So let me just show you. So there is an option called actions. So I'm going to cover everything. So I'm just showing you what Tableau can do. So I'm going to show you step by step in the upcoming sessions. So let's say if I put this as a source sheet and this as my target sheet and click on select and show all values, say okay. So if I click on Canada, so how this $29,333 is coming. So if I click on this, so I can see what all states in that particular Canada is there. So these are the 10 states which are there in Canada. And the amount that is there, 29,333 dollars is splitting across all these 10 states. And if I go back to sheet 2 and if I click on country, United States, so there are 49 states in the United States, and that this particular 22,97,000 is getting splitted across 49 states. And if I click on this sorting order, I can see which is the state which is giving very less sales and which is the state which is giving more sales. So all this can be monitored by using OLAP data. So by connecting to OLAP, I will be able to monitor how my business is performing. So OLTP is the database which will be collecting from the users. So whenever we are making any entry or we are making any purchase from any e-commerce websites, so OLTP is the first thing which will catch the data, and from OLTP that data will be stored in OLTP so that we can do this kind of analysis in Tableau. So let me ask you a few questions related to OLTP. Akhil, can you tell me what is the source for OLTP? Yeah, correct. So what is the source for it? Like what makes the entry in OLTP? Yeah, okay. So it basically we are the ones who will be entering the data. So because of us, let's say if you purchase anything from e-commerce websites, so because of that purchase, so there will be an entry that is made in the OLTP. And HR, can you tell me what is the source for OLAP? Yeah, perfect. So which is the one which stores the historical information? Sravanti, can you tell me which is the one which stores the historical information, whether it is OLAP or OLTP? Okay, Abhijit, can you answer that? Hello? Can you all hear me? Okay, right. Okay, Srikant, can you tell that answer? Like, which is the one which stores the historical? OLAP, yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the next session. So with this, we have completed Tableau session 1. So I will be sharing this video links in the group, and also I will share you this presentation as well. So now let's move on to the next session. So in this session, I'm going to show you how to connect to sample data and what are the different types of tabs that are available in Tableau. So I'm going to discuss about these icons which you see here and what are the icons which are there below. So I'm going to discuss in detail on what is about this page shelf and column shelf and row shelf. I'm going to discuss about that. Yeah. So how to get started with Tableau. So whenever you open Tableau, so this is the welcome page that you see. So here you can see the list of files that you can connect to and the list of data sources that you can connect to. And these are the servers that you can connect to. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go back to, so if you click on this sample superstore, you can connect to the data sources which are provided by Tableau. Or if you want to connect to any Excel or any other databases that you have, you can connect to that file. For now, we'll just connect to sample superstore. As as I have already connected, if I want to go back into the sheet, I can click on this Tableau icon on the top. Okay, so this sample superstore I have already connected to. Okay, so now let's discuss about these icons. So these are the main icons. So if you want to create, I'll just copy this. So this one is to create worksheets where we prepare the visualizations. And this one is to create the dashboards. Dashboards. So dashboard is a combination of worksheets. Where you can, let's say you have created multiple worksheets. So you can keep all those worksheets all together at one place. And so that is about dashboard. And worksheet where we can create the visualizations. So we have created some of the visualization yesterday. So how to create bar chart, pie chart, all this visualization we have created yesterday. Tree map. So you can create separate visualizations like this. So bar chart you can create separately, donut chart, tree map. All these visualizations can be created by using this worksheet. And this is the one, this is called as storyboard. So this is worksheet. So this is to create worksheet, create new worksheet. And this is to create new dashboard, create new dashboard. And now we are going to see the other option, which is create new story, new storyboard, to create new storyboard. So it is a combination of worksheets and dashboards. You can keep worksheets and dashboards together. And in this, the representation is different. Representation of worksheets or dashboards is different. So it is like slide basis. So I will show you how it looks like. So it will be like slide basis. Hello. So this is storyboard and this will be slide basis. So now let's see how we can create that. So if I click on this, it will, you can see in the tooltip as well. So you can create a new worksheet. So if you want to create any pie chart or any charts, you can just click on, let's say, segment sales. So I select this two and go to show me. So what all charts that you can prepare with this segment and sales, you can see those things here. So that will be highlighted. So if you click on this, after selecting this segment and sales, click on pie chart. So Tableau will automatically create a pie chart using segment and sales. So when you hover on that, home office segment has 4,44,068. So the value and the cone size that you see, the angle that you see, It is giving the percentage contribution of that particular home office. And if you see consumer, it is 50% more. I mean, if you take the total amount of value, 23,26,534, so it is contributing more than 50%. So consumer segment is contributing more than 50%. Other two are contributing some 48% or 49%. So you can see that. So there is an option. You can also show the percentage contribution. Click on percent of total. If you see, consumer itself is contributing 50%, and the other two segments are contributing together. It is contributing 49%. So that's how we can do the so pie chart definition is to show the percentage contribution of segments of the categories. So like this, you can create multiple worksheets. So let me create one more worksheet as a bar chart. So I'll just take an example of subcategory now. Take subcategory and sales. Subcategory. Double click on this and click on sales. Okay, so what are the charts that you can build with subcategory and sales? So click on show me. So whatever charts that are enabled here. So if you see, there are some of the charts which are not enabled. So that means you cannot create with these two fields. You cannot create these charts. You can create a bubble chart. And you can create a tree map, or you can create a bar chart. Okay, so like this you can create. So this is a bar chart. If you want to sort it, you can use this. And now let's create a map chart. To create a map chart, you need to have a geolocation. So I will explain you what is geolocation in upcoming session. But now, today I will show you how you can create a visualization. So if you take the state which is having the geolocation, so it will spot that location. So let's say we have Canada. So it is British Columbia. It is spotting that location. And if you have in the data, you have India, Hyderabad, China, all those details if you have. So Tableau will automatically locate that particular spot. And I want to see the sales value in each region. Okay, by seeing the size of the circle, I can identify the value of the sales. So this is sales by state. And I'll create one more worksheet, which is a tree map. So sales, or let me create a stacked bar. So I'll take subcategory, category and subcategory. Category and subcategory, I'll put it in the color. So when I take category, it is showing me the categories values. So under categories, so if you see under categories, I have subcategories. So each category has, in furniture, I have 4 subcategories. In office supplies, I have 7 or 8 subcategories. And technology, I have 4 categories. So I want to see that split here. So if I want to see that split, so how this 7,54,000 is getting splitted across all the subcategories for this furniture category. So I'll just put this in the color so I can see the split of that particular data. So this is called as stacked bar. Okay, so this is the process to create worksheets. Now I'm going to show you the dashboard. So just click on this so you can create a new dashboard. So I will show you, I'm just showing what Tableau can do. So I will tell you step by step on how you can create these worksheets. So click on automatic so that it will be fitting to any screen. So you can drag and drop. So you don't need to manually adjust anything. You can just drag and drop. You can keep the worksheets like this. So that is the definition of this one. So as I mentioned, so dashboard is a combination of worksheets. So I'm just combining all these worksheets at one place. So I have created it separately and I'm placing it at one place. So I can design it somehow, like putting the borders. So so this is how you should represent. So when you are preparing any particular dashboard, you need to design it properly so that it looks good. And you need to keep the dashboard title. You can make the center line. You can do all the operation that you can do in Word file. So this is how you can prepare a dashboard. And whenever you are presenting it to the user, you should present in this way. So if you have created pie chart, bar chart, and sales by street and stacked bar, instead of showing it separately, you can keep it in the dashboard and then present it. So that is about the dashboard. And now let's see how we can use worksheet. I mean, this storyboard. So this is to create a new story. So here you can keep dashboard directly and write one story about pie. So this is about pie chart, or you can write the percentage segment, contribution of segment and details of subcategory. You can write something related to your data. And if you want to add one more thing, you can click on blank and you can add separate sheets as well. And for each and every sheet, you can write some story and user can walk through like this. So you can explain it like a story. So that is about story. Okay, so now we'll discuss about these icons. So I'm just showing you how these icons can be used. So in upcoming sessions, we will discuss what are the steps to create this pie chart and all. Any questions? It depends. It's another way of representing the data. So it's like slides. So in PPT, you have slides, right? So you can move from one slide to other. So in dashboard, when I place these things, right? So I have placed all the 4 sheets together. So if you go to storyboard, so you can create one story for bar chart. And here you can explain about this is subcategory sales. Okay, you can write some story about that. And in this is a percentage contribution of segment. Contribution of each segment. It depends. It depends on the requirement. So here for each sheet, I can explain clearly. If you go to this dashboard, here I'm not able to explain. So I cannot keep note for each and every chart. So it's very, I mean, if you want to explain anything related to this particular chart, keeping notes will be like, it looks odd. But if you go to storyboard, so you have an option to write the comments. So you can write some comment to explain this particular chart. And if you go to so you can slide to next sheet. And there you can see the story of that particular chart. Okay, so here, I mean, there are some users who need some information. So who knows Tableau? So they can read this particular data that this is showing the contribution of the segment and all. So you can read the data. But some people needs an explanation, what it is telling. So you need to explain it. So for them, it is useful. Yes. So most of the times we use dashboard only, but so Tableau also has given this option so that you can write some story. So it will be helpful. So if you explain something in a story way, it will be very helpful to remember. Yes, they do. See, it's like this. I'll tell you. So Tableau is like a technical tool. So users won't know what Tableau can do. See, if I give you an apple, if I give you an orange, so I will not know whether you need apple or orange, right? So I have these two options. So if I am giving a demo to the user, so I will show them apple and I will show him orange. Whether he wants apple or orange, it's his wish to take. It depends on them, right? Yeah. Hmm. 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 Yeah, correct. See, here I have connected to one Excel. So if I want to add one more Excel, I can add one more Excel. So so this is sample superstore Excel, and this is assignment one, which is another Excel file. I can do joins. I can use this here as well. So I can combine data from different data sources. Got it? Hmm. Yes, you can connect. Let's say you have some data in Oracle, you have some data in SQL. So you can combine those data. Let's say I'll just show you one example. In Oracle, you have name and salary. Okay. And in SQL Server, you have same name and you have father name, address, everything. Okay. And some personal information of that particular person. And here you have employee ID. These are some uh, official related information which is there in Oracle. Official information you have. And for the same persons, you have personal information in SQL. So by using name as a common key, let's say Raju. Raju has salary of 50,000, some employee ID 10003. And the same Raju is there in SQL. His father name is Ajay and address is Hyderabad. Okay. So I want to find out not only his salary, I want to find out his father name and address. So then what I will do, I'll combine these two tables. Okay, I'll connect to Oracle. Let's assume this as an Oracle. And you can add SQL connection and you can take in one table you can take this one and in other table you can take this one. So you can come. I will show you. So there is a separate session for joins. Okay, so where I will explain how you will do the combining of two different tables. Got it? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Let me explain. See, this is like an introduction session. I'm just telling you what these are icons, like, okay. So these will be covered. Why there are three data sources? I'm gonna explain that. Okay. So this is sample superstore. They have combined three different tables. So that I will cover. So you're asking the next session's questions. Okay. You can ask whatever question from the completed session. You can ask. So these are the upcoming sessions. Have you joined in the previous classes as well? So that's why you are asking the next session questions. Okay, so we will cover that in the upcoming session. So that is sample superstore. I will explain in the upcoming session. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. So it's as time is up. So we'll continue tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna cover these icons and I'm gonna show you. So there are some different charts that we can create. So as I have created it very in a speed manner. So instead of that, I will gonna explain in stepwise. So how to create a bar chart, how to create line chart. So that we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay, then any other questions that you have related to this and today's session? Oh, okay. Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.